No.
Alright, I made a graph for this.
Skewed.
Okay, so, like, she said there's like 3 things we need to know. Do you remember them?
Yes. Kinda. I look at my notes. Skewed distribution, negative. Oh wait, no. Mean media. Um. Um. Mode. Sorry.
Yeah.
So for center, yes, there is.
Mean, median, and mode.
This is for center.
Mm-hmm. And then what else do we have to know about the whole distribution? We have to know.
Skew.
Yeah, so skew centers. Center. What is it? Center, spread, shape. Center, shape, spread. It was like the first thing she covered. Shape, spread. And so essentially for that, what I did to organize all her random ramblings on it, let me make sure I'm recording, yeah, because I'm going to watch this later, I'm going to forget, is I made a chart. So I said like the main feature and like other info. And then she always talked about if it it has outlier issues. And then like other cons. And so using this little chart, I can organize, actually I'm just I can organize all her random information. So we start off with mean, which is all center. The mean, all you need to know is if it's a normal distribution, like if, oh, I erased it. It was like this, you know, and then it was like this. That's not like a normal distribution. That has like a curve like that. But if it was like this, then you would use mean.
Oh.
Mean, yeah. So,
Oh, that's why it's
perfect for like a normal distribution. And it's really convenient. Other info, don't forget about the mean deviation stuff. I always like to put a reminder here for myself. What is the principle called?
Zero sum.
Yeah, zero sum principle.
Yes.
Zero sum principle. And then for outliers, they're like for real impacted. So they have a terrible time with outliers. And like the example she gave in class was like, if one guy has like 2 houses and is hella rich, and then like this other guy has like no house and no home, no money, and if you average them out, you're gonna get like, oh, everyone in America has 1 house and some money, but that's not true, right? Like, it kind of sucks. Like, so it is really influenced by outliers. That was the explanation she gave. And there's 2 symbols for mean. Do you remember them? For population sample.
Oh, the X with the little the neon bar and then neon.
You got it. And then median. And like median is like king in this game. Okay, like usually what I do for median is I cross one out on both sides. Like I cross it out on both sides and then I hit the middle. That's what I do to find a median. And like it is the best for skewed population. So that's how you got your answer for the question that we were answering for. It's also good for 2 other things in 2 other situations. It's like open-ended categories.
Oh.
Where it's like, oh, do you have more than 12 partners? And it's not like a specific number, it's just like more than this, you know? 12 plus. Or it's for undetermined, I think she calls it. And that's like if somebody falls asleep when they're supposed to be tapping a button or something, and so it goes on for a super long time, and like it's an outlier really.
Oh.
And so it's like things that are beyond the range. Like imagine you have an experiment and people are supposed to like press a button within the 5-second mark. Like they see a flash and they're supposed to press it, but like one dude falls asleep and he goes beyond like the 10-second mark that they're recording for. That's like an undetermined score. So like beyond the range. Okay, and then other information, this is what it looks like on a graph, or like that graph that we made. It would not just be like, it would be like right here, I think. You know, it has to be like averaged, balanced out. And so another cool thing is if this was area, this would be one half, and then like this would be the other half. It's also called the 50th percentile, I think.
Yeah.
Percentile, or the second quadrant. Quartile. Quartile? Is that it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and the second quartile, it sounds like random ass stuff. I'll explain it further. The only thing you need to know is that this is unaffected by outliers. It's the only one that's unaffected by outliers. Like mode, no, don't even talk to me about mode. Mode is like the worst one. So like this one, like we love to see it like survives the. She said it's like resistant to outliers. Resistant to outliers. Okay, and then like what this means with the quartile stuff is that literally like if this was like the median, right here. You would go like halfway up and halfway down, and this would be your quartile 1, this would be your quartile 2, and this would be your quartile 3. And it kind of just like shows like a range kind of. And then she like even did a thing where it's like this minus quartile 1, right?
SIQR.
SIQR. And like, yeah, they're like really integrated with each other, you know, like they depend on each other. So like SIQR is also really important here. And they're both resistant to outliers. They're both like, we love them. We love to see it. And then the last one is mode. Can you tell me what mode is?
The most repeated number.
Yeah, and so if we were to look at it on this, which one would it be?
The third forward.
Yes, cool. It's like the most frequent, highest frequency, I would say.
Yes.
And the cool thing about this is that you don't need any numbers. Like imagine I was doing a poll and seeing how many people were in, or like, actually, I should do how many people. Like you don't need like a specific number to count it up. So like it can do all of Noir is the easiest way to say that. Noir is like nominal, ordinal, interval, ratio. All of these others need like specific numbers, specific stuff. This can do categories.
Oh, okay.
Like think Democrats and Republicans. It can just count up the amount of Democrats or count up the amount of Republicans. Whereas you can't like average out the amount of Democrats. You know, that would be weird. You can't cut them in half and shit. So they're pretty cool for that. And they can also do this thing. Do you remember what it's called?
What is that?
It's bimodal. It can have more than 2 values, or more than 1 value. Yeah, she talked about unimodal versus bimodal versus multimodal. And so all that it's saying is that you can only get one mean, you only get one median, but you can have multiple frequencies, like ones that are highest frequency, you know? Like you can have one that's like perfectly tied for first place. Whereas like you can't really have one tied for first place with these.
Oh,
Does that make sense?
Oh, yes.
Like you can't have like an average one tied in first place, and you can't have like, you can't cross it out and then have one tied for first place. You would just divide it by 2, right? But then for mode, it's like crazy because you can have it tied for like the highest point.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, and because it's called bi because there's like 2.
Oh.
And then modal, like that's what it's called. It's like an M. That's how I see it. But yeah, and this one sucks. 0 out of 10.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because like think about like, imagine, I don't even know, you have one that is almost tied for like first place, and then one random person joins, and then suddenly they're both tied, or like one random person leaves, and then suddenly this one's the answer. You know, like it changes so much from just one data point being added or subtracted. So it's like, no, fuck this thing. We don't want
Wow, what a smart way to think.
it. Like,
wow.
yeah, like just one single point. It could be like a billion people in this study, but one single one changes it, and then it's like fucked. But like median, you know, you're not gonna like one single person can't change like the middle of something, you know?
Right.
And like mean, every single person is taken into consideration, so it obviously changes the value. But like, yeah, median is 10 out of 10.
Wow, you're so smart. Wow.
Yeah, this is my second time taking the class, so I'm a little more cognizant of everything. But this is not it. There's more. We got range, and I'm gonna make it super easy. All you gotta know is that it's like lowest to highest. And is it resistant to outliers or affected by outliers? Yeah. Like imagine I have a whole class and it's like, oh, 80s, 90s, I'm an amazing teacher. And then that one kid that's like, didn't even take the exam and they got a 0. And then now my range is 0 to 90. Because of that one kid. Like, one single person can change it. So, yeah, we don't fuck with range. Range is canceled.
Yes.
If I want to complete the whole center shape spread thing, there's one last part. How are you doing on stamina? Because I know I've talked a lot.
I'm good.
You're good?
Yes.
Okay, this is the last one.
It's very fruitful. Like, I'm very, very grateful for you.
You are doing so good. I love tutoring. I love teaching. Oh my gosh. Okay, so there's like, remember how she was talking about skewed distributions? You got your normal one, which just looks like normal, you know, like perfect. But then you got like weird ass ones where it's like funky. And so all you gotta know is whatever way, like imagine it as a roller coaster, right? And it's going up and up and up. Whatever way it's like gonna go down is what you should consider this to be. Like it's positive. It's a positive skew. So I see like a lot of people mix that up with this one versus this one and which one's positive, which one's negative. The roller coaster analogy really helps me. So like this one, for example, would be going up and then in the negative way.
Smart.
Okay, and then once you get that down, all you have to know are 3 things on each side. This is how I memorized it. It is if it's a ceiling or floor effect. Is it ceiling or floor?
What?
Is it a ceiling or floor effect with a positive skew? I think. Wait, let
Is
me.
that mentioned in your class?
Yeah. She might quiz on it. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. So like she mentioned in the slides, you can also read the slides too. I think this is a floor effect.
Floor effect versus.
This is the ceiling effect.
I don't remember learning this.
You're so good.
Is this what it is?
Maybe go back to her slides.
Yes.
Are we on lesson 3 now or lesson 2?
We were on 3.
Yeah, so go all the way down to those little skew. Oh wait, skew go
Oh.
up. Okay. Yeah. So scroll right here for ceiling effects.
What?
Yeah. It's crazy. I'm forgetting which one's which. I'm gonna guess here. I'm gonna guess this is a floor effect and this is a ceiling effect.
Why is that?
What
What is it?
Okay, so like the example she gave in class is like this is like imagine like this is like the average amount of like income for each person. We got like the majority down here, but then we got that one like I don't even know like
A billionaire.
billionaire like I don't know like Silicon Valley person, you know, like drawing it out there. And so like what it's basically saying is that it's gathering towards this 0 point. Like people could have less than 0. People could be in debt, but we aren't like tracking that. So it's just hitting this point. It's towards the floor. Whereas with this one, it's going in the opposite direction. You know, it's like going away. And then this would be the ceiling. This would be like the top value that you could get, right? That's where the graph ends. So this is like the ceiling part. And then this would be like the floor. So whichever way it's leaning, just decide it that way. You know?
Yes.
And like an example of this, for example, would be like super easy psych test where everyone got 80s and 90s. And like a bunch of people got 100s maybe. And like everyone's gathered at the top and maybe they could have gotten like extra credit, 101, 102, but I didn't offer that. So it's gathered towards this top point right here.
Okay, now I remember. You're so smart.
Kind of. I think that's it. I'm pretty sure. I could be completely wrong though. I guess
No,
we
I
never
think
know.
you're 100% right.
What else? Oh wait. We have to know the difference, like where the mean and median and mode.
Oh yeah.
All I remember is that mean is gonna go towards here. And then mode is gonna go out. And then the king of it all is median. Okay, and that's it. And that's all you need to know to answer question 3. I got from question 3.
Yes, it is question.